Okay. And go! Konnichiwa, and welcome to Top Class Tokyo, a weekly read podcast about life in Japan and the collision of Asian and American culture. I am your host, Kim Sensei. I don't know how to introduce myself. I'm still working on it. Sorry. English teacher by day and by night, podcaster extraordinaire, broadcasting to you from Tokyo, Japan. Joining me today from sunny Los Angeles is my lovely co-host, Justine. How are you, Justine?
Doing well. It's gotten chilly.
Yay. I know. It really dropped like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, like within the span of 2 days here. And I went from sweating to needing like 3 layers. So I'm just like, yeah. And I took a trip this weekend to Nara and Kobe. So that's a lot of fun stuff I want to talk to you about
Yes,
today.
Please do. We
My
can compare
travels
notes.
into the mountains. Yeah, have you been?
Yeah, I was actually living near Osaka. I was living in Sakai for like 3 months the first time around, give or take.
Okay, so you're actually more familiar with the Kansai area than compared with Tokyo?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
like it. It's 3 months the first time around, and then 4 months the second time around, I think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Nara is like actually really, really close for you then. Like,
Yeah.
it's only about a 30-minute train ride from like central Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first stop. I completely went from Tokyo, completely bypassed Kyoto, because I have already visited Kyoto. That was pre-pandemic time.
Mm-hmm.
I went through there, and I honestly felt like the overwhelming amount of tourists made Kyoto. I didn't have a good experience there because of how crowded it was. It was really hot. It was just too many people. It felt like, Disneyland, when it's just
Peak
a really
season.
yeah, peak Disneyland season, and it's just too many people, too many lines. Everyone's like elbowing each other trying to get a good picture, and it was just not a fun experience. So I completely skipped Kyoto, went straight to Nara because I hadn't had my experience with the deer yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 2 things on my bucket list for going to Nara. One was to go visit the downtown street and go see the fastest mochi pounding man in all of Japan, apparently. I don't know if that's their claim to fame for this mochi shop, but they do have the mochi pounding demonstrations. Mm-hmm. And pre-pandemic, they would have this demonstration out on the street like every hour on the hour, pretty much because it was just crowded with tourists. This mochi, I have so many feelings about the mochi man because I met the mochi man. He's an asshole. Complete asshole.
Well, shit.
Fuck that mochi man. Okay. He was very rude to me. So I am not going to recommend anyone to visit the Mochi Man in Nara because fuck the Mochi Man.
Fuck the Mochi Man.
fuck the Mochi Man. I was being, as polite as I could be, just trying to ask, if there were going to be any shows that were happening. And no, he was very rude. He kind of rolled his eyes at me, because it was pretty obvious that I was a foreigner, couldn't really speak Japanese that well. Mm-hmm. So it was very, very dismissive towards me. I think right now at this point, they are only doing a single show in the morning to just literally make the mochi for the day. And then that's it, they're done. So I think they actually open at 11 and I missed it because I had some other sightseeing things on my list, which I actually discovered one of the probably hidden gems of Nara, and that is an Australian coffee shop. in one of the side streets in downtown Nara. So fuck the Mochi Man. Go visit Chris at Akatombo Coffee in the little shopping district in Nara, because Chris saved my trip, because he is full of this bardic knowledge, and he is a guy from Melbourne, and
accent and all. Oh.
Yeah, everything. And this man makes the most amazing flat white I've ever tasted in my life, like ever. So if you are a coffee aficionado and you need and he's actually one of the only coffee shops, probably the only establishment to actually open at 7 in the morning. If you want a decent, coffee and breakfast in the morning, he opens at 7 a.m. usually every day, I think, and he does English classes. So it's such his shop is so amazing, and he was so welcoming and so friendly, and he just had so much to share about all of the sights to see in Nara, and even things off the beaten track, I think, which I was really into, because he was just, oh yeah, you can go to the Todaiji, which is one of the greatest things that Nara is famous for, one of the giant Buddha statues, but there's actually so many more things to see in Nara just beyond temples, that I feel like he really was so helpful in, making the most out of my day trip to Nara, because I only had about 24 hours there. Yeah, I got so much footage.
I'm glad that you met this guy, because literally all I did in Nara was deer's temples, and I was like, yeah, that was Nara.
That's what he said too. He's like, yeah, and most people just, do deer's temples, mochi, and that's probably about it. Then they dip, and they don't get to spend really, quality time in Nara. I have so much footage from this trip that I'm going to put it into a video and post it up on the channel as well, so people can get the lowdown on what to do in Nara if you're actually there. I think Nara is probably just so underrated compared to Kyoto, so if you're out in the Kansai region, I highly recommend skipping Kyoto. I would say do it the reverse, because Kyoto can be so overwhelming. There's so many temples there that I feel like it just all starts to blur together.
Yeah.
There's one, the hands down most beautiful temple I've ever seen in Nara, and it's overlooking the entire city. It's just situated on this hilltop, and you just have to go there because it's so gorgeous, and I was there for the sunset, and it was just perfect timing. So yeah, links in the description. Go check out the video when this episode drops. I will reveal all the details then. Okay, but yes, Nara, I went to Nara for a day. I stayed in a very creepy ryokan. I'm pretty sure it was haunted, because at one point in the middle of the night, I want to say that I was dreaming. There was an old man that opened the sliding paper door in the room, and I was like, not sleeping tonight.
Nope, not today,
not
Satan.
sleeping tonight.
And how did you stumble across said haunted ryokan?
Well, I was looking for guest houses and hostels to stay at. So I was really booking this trip last minute too. So it was literally the day before I was scheduled to go to Nara. I was just looking for guest houses, looking for hostels, anything cheap under $30 for a night. Just looking for a bunk bed to kind of crash in, So,
yeah.
Originally, there was one guest house that was really close to the park that I was going to stay at, but the guy got back to me and said he was closed for business for that weekend, which when I got to Nara, there are actually a lot of businesses shut down, and I feel like the pandemic has hit Nara pretty hard with all the Latin tourism going on. So, so I found another one that was a much bigger guest house, because it's actually a 100-year-old traditional Japanese style house that has been converted into a guest house.
Yeah, there's no way that could be haunted.
No way. Deal was amazing. It was, I think it was about $35 a night, but I got an entire 8 tatami mat room to myself. Ooh. So it was like a huge room. Could sleep 4 people in it easily.
Oh, nice.
And just for that deal and just having my own private sink, and it was basically just like, I could be paying like 3 times as much and get half of that space in a modern hotel here, So I'd rather take my chances with the spooky ryokan.
So was it just a ryokan, or was there any like bathhouse connected to it, or?
No, actually, there was not an onsen, which was unfortunate. But onsen was kind of out of my price range for this point, because I wanted to spend my money on getting my A5 Kobe beef when I hit Kobe. So, yeah, because I knew that Nara was going to be, my appetizer for this trip. So I was spending 1 day in Nara and then 2 nights in Kobe, meeting up with a friend over there. And
nice.
So after my my haunted night in Nara, I went to Kobe and stayed at a very posh hotel. One of the nicest hotels, I think, in Nara, Hotel Okuda. I think it is probably the tallest one, the tallest building downtown in the harbor. So it's literally right next to the Kobe Port Tower, which is right outside my window on the west side. So gorgeous view of the water and the mountains. Kobe's pretty cool because it almost looks like the Hollywood Hills in a way, because they do have these signs up on the mountain, and there's a couple of them have like symbols of Kobe, like one is an anchor, and there's another one that kind of looks like an interlocking T. I'm not really sure if it's kanji or if it's an actual symbol. And then they have the words in English, Kobe, on the side of the mountain. So I'm like, that's pretty cool, because you don't really have hills in Tokyo. Tokyo's very flat.
Yeah.
So there's not really any natural sights to see here in Tokyo. I think it's a very ugly city. So it was really, really nice to
have space.
My first time in Kobe. So it's nice to see the city right up against, the nature, which, it's kind of reminiscent of LA too. So I think that's really cool.
I think that's like one thing I did enjoy about Osaka more than Tokyo area is that there's more space, or it feels like you're less condensed. So I was more used to the yes, elbow room, yes, trees, yes, parking.
Yeah, and on my previous trip when I did visit Kyoto, I did Kyoto, Osaka, just because those were, the 2 biggest cities in Kansai to visit. So you got to hit those first. But I really, really like, those second tier kind of Kansai cities, Nara and Kobe, because it's so much more relaxed and cleaner, and it's much smaller, much more walkable.
Slower.
I feel like
the pace is slower.
Yeah, much slower. Nice. It's nicer for a weekend getaway trip.
Yeah. One of my old classmates was from Kobe, so when I was living in Japan, I would spend time there a lot, and her friend owns a bar that does nomihodai, tabihodai for candy. So it was kind of like a bunch of like nostalgic Japanese candies plus unlimited alcohol. And that was really great because I guess the day we went was really slow. So it was literally my old classmates and their friend. And we were literally just kicking back and just like catching up.
Is there actual food for the tabehodai, or is it just candy?
It was just candy, and then they had oden.
Oh,
so it was like
oden.
snacks, literally snacks, and it was kind of like, yeah,
do you like
it.
oden?
I do.
You do? I feel like I don't know. I feel like oden is such an acquired taste.
I think it
I don't
depends
know.
what you get, because I like getting the egg and sometimes the fish cake, and then I really like the radish.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not an oden fan. I don't
Then
know.
you gotta
'Cause
put the little mustard on it. Like a little Chinese mustard. So good.
maybe I'm not eating it right. Maybe I had a bad oden experience the first time I ate it, and I just need to try, good oden. Maybe I just haven't given it a chance. But
Where did you have it?
probably some random
Like a
stall
7-Eleven?
here. No,
Oh.
not 7-Eleven. I don't even think they serve oden at a
Yeah,
7-Eleven.
usually, well, it depends. Winter time, they usually bust out the oden.
Yeah, actually, I have seen like some street stalls, but maybe not like a 7-Eleven convenience style. But probably somewhere in some like shopping street somewhere in Tokyo. I don't remember the last time, but I don't know, something about the it looks like soup, but it's like stew, but there's no meat. So it's just a very confusing concept for me.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like very comfort food, because it's kind of like the
But it's
flavor,
comfort food,
bonito flavor.
But there's no noodles. So I'm like, what am I eating? There's no meat, there's no
Rice
noodles.
cakes. You're eating rice cake. No, fish cake, sorry.
Then it's also strange because there's soup, and I'm like, if there's soup, and then it makes me want ramen. So and I'm like, the best part about ramen is the noodles and the meat. And it's like, if you don't have noodles and meat, you've got oden. And it just feels kind of subtractive to me. So I don't know if it's just me, but unpopular opinion, question mark. Let us know in the comments. Oden. Yes or no? Yay or nay?
It depends on the type, because then there's like the different types of fish. There's like the cylindrical one, then there's like the round one, then there's a triangle shaped one, and then there's like the one that has like the mentaiko into the paste. I'm pretty picky about my oden choices.
Maybe that's it too, because I don't know if I like mentaiko either. I like looking at oden. I like the shapes. It's fun.
But if you don't care for like fish cakes or seafood, oden probably won't be your jam.
No, but I do like fish cakes and seafood. I love that stuff. But I don't know. Something about like a hot, soupy soup without noodles is just something doesn't feel right to me.
It's to warm you. Like, I felt like it was pretty clutch when it got pretty cold in Japan to just have like, I'm gonna have oden because it's cold as hell, and
All right.
yes.
All right, I'll give it a chance when it starts to get colder here. They bring out the oden.
It's like that and the canned corn. The corn
Canned
soup.
corn?
The corn soup.
Oh, I haven't
I
had
freaking
that.
love corn soup.
I haven't had the corn soup yet. I've heard about it. It's just like, it's literally just in a can though, right?
Yeah.
Just canned soup.
But it comes out warm, and it's kind of like when your
In the vending
fingers
machine.
are.
Oh, I gotta find one.
Yeah. It's getting cold enough where they'll start stocking it, I imagine. And sometimes there's like the clam chowder one, I think. I'm not sure if it's like a pottage, like a potato pottage or something.
Is it pottage or potage?
Potage, I don't know.
Potage?
I'm clearly uncultured. so I'm
Target or
like, pottage.
Tage?
Pottage. We're drinking pottage.
Oh, I completely forgot that we should probably be giving these things grades, since this is top class Tokyo, and we should be rating these things on our report card. So Nara, let me see. Nara on the report card grades this term. Nara, you get an A plus.
Minus the...
A plus for the Australian coffee. A plus for the hidden temples that my new friend, was dropping all the secret knowledge on the secret spots. Kobe, amazing place. I love Kobe. A tier, like wonderful, wonderful place. Mochi Man, fuck you. F for the Mochi Man. Fuck the Mochi Man. Yeah, it was a great trip. And Oden, I would give it a C, but maybe I just haven't had good Oden yet. So my mind is still open. I'm gonna give Oden a second chance.
Let it grow on you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna write it off. All right. Um,
Were you able to explore Osaka more, or did you just do?
no, I completely skipped Osaka because I had already done that. So I was
Okay.
like, been there, done that. On to the next. Need to see the sights. I discovered that there's so much more to see in Kobe though that I want to go back to Kobe and explore a lot more because there is a Chinatown that I didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted to. And I want to go there not on a Sunday because it was fucking
Everything
packed.
is closed. Oh.
No, it was rammed with people. It was
damn.
so crowded. It was so crowded. You could
Isn't
not
it
walk through
also
it.
like a holiday that week too?
This week?
Or
I don't know. I don't think so.
did you just have like time off and then? So I wasn't sure if it was a holiday or not.
I don't think it's a holiday.
Okay.
I just had time off because it's midterms week. for my
Oh, okay,
school.
okay.
So
Family day, avoid Kobe.
Yeah. So anytime I need to go out shopping, I try to avoid doing that on a Sunday, because that's probably the busiest day when nobody has work and people are out and about, enjoying their day off here. So, highlights from Kobe's Chinatown. I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. It was really small, very small. Apparently, there's only 3 Chinatowns in Japan: Yokohama, Kobe, and Nagasaki.
Okay.
And I think in that order, they are, in size. So like Yokohama's the biggest one, then it's Kobe, then it's Nagasaki. And the Kobe one is actually pretty small comparatively from the one. I feel like it's like an order of magnitude smaller than the one in Yokohama. Because the one in Yokohama, I feel like, is maybe half the size. I don't know if my memory of this is just warped, but I want to say it's half the size, like a third or half the size of the Chinatown in New York.
I'm bad, and I have not gone to any of the Chinatowns when I was living there because I think I probably would have gone if I was craving Chinese food, because that's probably the only reason why I go to Chinatown. But I'm not a big Chinese food person, so I kind of slept on all those Chinatowns in other countries.
Really? I feel like moving to Japan and being surrounded by Japanese food made me realize how much I love Chinese food and how much more Chinese food I actually eat on a day-to-day basis than Japanese food. So I think most people who are interested in Japan and love Japanese food, that it's hard for most Americans to picture what Japanese food is beyond sushi and maybe hibachi and ramen. And I feel like those are very special occasion kind of foods. And you go out and it's a big meal. If you go for a hibachi dinner, there's a show involved and everything. So, or even sushi, it's very it can be very upscale and fancy in presentation, and all that. So sushi can be at any price range really, but
But I feel like Japanese home cooking food is stir fry, pork stir fries, or meat vegetable dishes.
You say that, but pork stir fry is actually very Chinese.
But it's Japanese
stir
style.
Fry.
Yeah.
No. I think you're getting confused, right? Because stir fry is a very Chinese thing, right? Because a wok is designed for stir fry meals, but I don't think that's part of actual Japanese cuisine, because a lot of Japanese cuisine uses a flat pan. And
okay.
I don't think there's much what we would think of as stir fry.
I'm a fool then, because whenever I'd stay at my friends and we'd go make meal prep, or closest thing to meal prep, or home food or comfort food, it would be the pork with peppers and carrots, and I was I can imagine a lot of Chinese food getting adopted by Japan, and that just being like comfort food. Same with curry. It's kind of like curry is initially a Japanese food. A lot of adopted cuisines are
it starts to become a
Japanese
fusion,
food.
right?
Yeah.
It starts to be a fusion, and I think that's what's really cool about the Kobe Chinatown, Japan. It's like it's a familiar flavor, but also an exotic flavor at the same time. So I really liked it. It was really good. Go to the pork bun place. That place is legit. There's a famous pork bun dim sum. I don't know if it's dim sum, but like it's dim sum, right? Because it's steamed.
Yeah.
So pork bun spot in the middle, in the very center, across from the courtyard. So highly recommend that one. A tier.
So did they actually have dim sum in Chinatown in Kobe?
Yeah, there were tons of places.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I think it's actually better than... Well, I mean, I've only been to the Yokohama Chinatown a few times, but I feel like my experience in Kobe Chinatown was better because it's so much more dense and walkable.
Okay.
It's literally a pedestrian area where there's maybe a single avenue and then maybe 10 cross streets.
Okay.
So it's a really, really tiny district. And you can probably spend just a day there and see everything. Which, you can only have so many meals in a day. So, like, I don't think you would need more than a day to see the Chinatown. But, yeah. Kobe, good.
I remember the whole week I was sending you the videos of... what's the Demon Slayer theme?
The roller coaster, though. I know. I was like, a part of my original plan for going to Kobe was so that I could go visit Awaji Island and go to the Naruto theme park land. So, which I kind of abandoned that plan after thinking about it because I was like, wait. I kind of wanted to wait and wait for the border to open because it just feels like I wouldn't get the most out of the experience doing a solo
Wait
trip.
for me.
I know, right?
Wait for me.
I know. I feel like that, like going to a theme park is something you should do with a group of people.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I never made it to Fuji-Q when I was there.
Yeah. With a group of weebs, specifically for Naruto Land, So, and that same thing for USJ, for Nintendo World, for, the Demon Slayer pop-up that's happening now at...
I'm so jealous. I want to eat all the food.
It looks really cute. I wanted to go, but then I was like, I love solo travel, but theme parks... I feel like it's so lonely if you go to a theme park by yourself,
Yeah.
So, I'll
definitely... Let's go popcorn bucket.
Yes, the pop-up event is happening until the end of February, so I do have winter break, so maybe if I have another span of time that I can round up some people to go down. Or if the border opens for Christmas, you can come through. So.
Very unrealistic, but fingers crossed.
I did hear a rumor that the border may be opening for business travelers, so get hired by a company real quick, and then I'll see you in Osaka.
Say less. On my way.
All right.
How long were you there for?
I was
3 days?
3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days.
And you took Shinkansen, right? Did you see any of the novelty bento boxes?
I saw some other salarymen eating the bento boxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they look cool?
I think they're overrated. Also.
Oh, I'm a sucker for bentos. This is where all my money goes. Nicely packaged meals.
But I feel like that's everywhere, and it's not something that's unique to Shinkansen. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I think I just get like, you can get a square bento anywhere.
I think I just get very like, you remember that scene in Harry Potter where they're on the train and then there's like the snack cart lady and then you can buy whatever. That's like the vibe I get when I see the bento lady on the Shinkansen, because I'm like I'm like the wizards on the train to Hogwarts, and they can order snacks from the snack lady, and there's okay. So that's kind of like my association with buying things on the train.
Oh. Yeah, it's the Shinkansen is such a nice experience. It really does feel like you're flying on a plane, and you know there's a flight attendant going up and down the aisle with like snacks and drinks, and one of the actually interesting things that I noticed as I was going to call him a flight attendant, as the bento attendant was walking past me, is that I noticed from his belt was mace. He was carrying mace on a keychain. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was illegal in Japan. I'm like, I thought mace is illegal. But apparently, yeah, like I was checking if I could bring mace into the country. But it said, you know, no weapons, or, you know, I guess it's classified under like firearms. But I saw a tiny little like half a marker stick of mace hanging from his belt, and I'm like, oh shit. I wonder if they can get around that because they're, you know, interfacing with the public, and if there's a unruly passenger, you know,
like,
they have a way to defend
like
themselves.
off-brand mace. Maybe it's like vinegar water or something.
I wonder. I'm like, did my eyes deceive me? I'm like, because he's not a cop. He's literally just a you know, bento guy selling. Yeah, but he is dressed in the uniform of like the Shinkansen people, so
okay,
he is a train
some
operator attendant.
Figure,
Yeah, so I'm like, do they all carry mace, or is it just the ones that actually like interact with the customers, and like does he have a security function as well? So I was really curious about that.
Was he the only guy that you saw that had a little mace thing, or?
That I noticed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah, I just noticed it to me. It just stood out to me because it was like swinging from his belt as he was walking away.
Interesting.
But, yeah. And it does look like there are like.
Did it have like a little red tab on it and stuff?
Yeah, it looked it had like a push cap, like a safety thing on the end of it. So
I see.
It looks like mace.
As I casually take out my mace container and just like, oh yeah, it does look like that.
What does mace actually look like, huh?
Well, no, because I have mace in my drawer for some reason. Oh, it's when the shady... Oh, here it is. When the shady guy was like passed out on our yard, so it's a little red cap.
Yeah, it looked just like that. Yeah. It looked almost exactly like that, except white instead of black.
I see. Personal defense spray.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently don't act up on the Shinkansen or else get maced.
They'll mace you. Yeah. Darn! Couldn't make off for all those bentos.
I wonder if that's a thing here in the States, though. Do flight attendants actually carry mace? Are they allowed?
I'm not sure. I can ask. I have some friends that were attendants.
I feel like there are so many Americans that would have been maced by now if flight attendants actually had mace on the planes. Like...
I just feel like that's a bad idea, especially if the air is circulated, confined space. It's kind of like you macing everyone at that point.
Yeah, if it's a airplane.
Yeah.
Enclosed space. Yeah, that's gonna be bad news. But Shinkansen. I guess you could move to the next car, but. What is that?
So So, in the spirit of Halloween, I am about 80% done with my bikini bottom recreation of bikini bottom that I'm going to decorate my whole office in.
Oh!
And not gonna lie, I felt like I did some pretty good work with the shading and the outlining of this bikini bottom sign. And Dollar Tree is so clutch for random craft material to make bikini bottom in your cubicle, and I'm stupid excited to decorate my cubicle this week.
Oh my god. Are you gonna have anyone else do the SpongeBob stuff with you? Or is it just you?
It's just me. I tried to rope my coworkers into being casual Squidward and casual SpongeBob.
Uh-huh.
My one coworker has a Squidward colored t-shirt, so he's kinda doing it. So he's like very casually doing it. But I also wanted to show you like all my hard work in crafting. Look at my little jellyfish field sign.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna make the jellyfish.
Like real wood.
I'm gonna make the jellyfish inflated with like helium and stuff. Oh, and then this is like my favorite one.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see. Is that an inflatable glove?
Yes. The chum bucket. Sponsored by Dollar Tree. Oh, and I found this glove
so
randomly.
Awesome.
I'll take pictures of my cubicle once it's fully glammed out. And there's little Krabby Patties, so I can give my coworkers Krabby Patties as Halloween candies.
That's so cool. I'm not allowed to give candy out to the kids.
Dumb. It's okay. So I guess the cool thing is that kids like those little squishy toys. I got one from my boss because her daughter is in like preschool or something.
Mm.
And the cool thing are like little squishies. Here, I'll show you one. They're like little squishy things. Then it's like you just play with it, and it's rather entertaining.
Really cute. Yeah, it's like a little stress ball.
Yeah. So little squishies. That's what preschoolers like these days. Non-edible, so parents can't complain how you're feeding their children expired candy.
We had a school festival a couple weeks ago, and I learned we had a haunted house themed casino actually in one of the rooms. So like the English
So gambling's all clear.
Yeah, gambling is okay. We actually even had like fake yen, like fake coins, and like people came and like bet money and stuff. But there was a craps table. There was a craps table.
Gambling's a-okay.
And one of the came in and like was playing with the girls like at one of the card tables, so it was pretty funny.
Did they have blackjack too?
We did speed,
okay,
and craps. That was pretty much the only two games. Yeah. Oh, and we had a dartboard. I don't know why, there was just a dartboard. So yeah, we had a casino, Halloween themed casino. I learned the Japanese word for squishy, which is puni puni.
Oh, that just reminds me of this like pretty shitty anime called Puni Puni Pony.
Puni puni pony?
Yeah, it was the same creators of Excel Saga, and it was just very like out there. But I just watched it because Excel Saga was also very out there. But I think this is like mid 2000s or something.
Well, yeah, this is fucking ancient. So
Yeah. So that's my gem of trash anime from the early 2000s that I remember because it was just like really badly dubbed and the storyline made no sense, but I was like, I'm committed. I already watched the previous anime that they animated, so I got a full send on this too.
I wonder if it actually made sense in the original Japanese and it was just because it was badly dubbed in the early 2000s that their
I'm gonna have to
storyline is
revisit.
jacked. Yeah, you should have a
Like,
watch.
what's that? Horror stories? No, what's the That one really shitty dubbed early 2000s
Oh, I know exactly
anime.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. Such quality dubbing though.
Yep. All right, cool. So we actually worked anime into this episode.
Puni Puni Poemi. Grading scale, I would rate Puni Puni Poemi as a... You don't really need to watch it, so maybe it's like a C minus D. But if you're curious, because you are really into the same animation studio that did Excel Saga, by all means, go nuts.
All right, cool. Oh, we're coming up on an hour, so is there anything else you want to talk about?
I started shopping for Christmas because I'm well prepared for this holiday. But I think it's too early for a lot of people.
No, actually in Tokyo, the Christmas lights have been starting to go up this week. And it's not even Halloween yet, which is disturbing to me. It is deeply disturbing to me.
Just like the Philippines, Christmas time starts 90 days before Christmas.
No, it needs to be the day after Halloween is the only acceptable time. The only acceptable time.
I went to World
Christmas
Market
decorations.
and got my gingerbread house kit. But I wanted to get it early because if you wait till December, all the gingerbread houses are all sold out. And like all the advent calendars are all the shitty milk chocolate ones. But I found a nice like 70% dark chocolate advent calendar that I'm going to thoroughly enjoy in the month of December. I'm actually going to try to make custom advent calendars for my friends. Did I tell you about
Yes,
these?
you did.
Okay,
in episode 2.
Okay, good, because I just bought more candy and goodies to fill inside of them, so I'm pretty excited to construct them.
Yay, you're so crafty. Look at you. You're getting all of these little props made for Halloween. You've got some advent calendars for Christmas.
This is in hopes that I could make money off of it someday. But I feel like that's a pretty marketable craft, is custom advent calendars.
Dude, we should make like anime themed ones.
I want to... Yo, I saw a Baby Yoda advent calendar and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure for like what holiday is... Or what anime convention is before Christmas time?
There used to be AUSA in DC, but I don't even know if that one's running anymore.
Because I remember like the only thing that was in November was Pacific Media Expo.
New York Comic Con / Anime Fest.
Yeah, I think that they'll be pretty solid.
Yeah, because that one's usually end of October.
Just compile a bunch of Christmas fan art of like whatever anime you're hyped up about, and then just slap it on some advent calendar that you make.
No, but it's like you have the calendar, but then like inside each little pocket is like there's like 25 different little, gotcha gifts in there. So, you know what I mean? Like
this will probably be like $50 advent calendars though.
Oh,
there's 20.
Gotta be a lot more than that, yeah.
Like if there's like gotcha in each of the little boxes, like how big is this advent calendar? Maybe scale it down to like a 12-day advent calendar. So that way you're not spending
12 days.
What? Wait, what is it? Wait, 25. Yeah, 12 days because the song, 12 days of Christmas.
All right, 12 days.
Because 25, that's like hella little cubbies you're gonna make for 25.
Yeah, that is true.
So, because I'm narrowing down my calendar to 12 because I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm making 25 little cups covered with tissue paper so I can customize each of the individual days.
You have to be pretty special.
Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, at least half of it is going to be candy. So then everything else is either going to be like personal notes or like stickers or just like chapstick or something.
That's so nice. Oh my god.
So that's why I'm just like, okay, let's do 12 because then at least half of it can be booze. Candy.
Oh man, there's this podcast I found recently. What is it called? I think it's called like Being Asian or something like that. Let's see. It's with these two Asian therapists, I think. Ooh. And they do for their Patreon shout outs, they do positive affirmations, where they like for each name they just make up like a affirmation for that person. So
Aw.
it's really nice. It's more BS than it sounds, but yeah. So it's like I thought it's a nice.
But I'm all for
nice
it
gesture,
because it's
though,
like
yeah.
I feel like people don't say enough nice things to themselves or to their friends to really be like, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Little gratitude calendar.
Yeah. Advent calendar, customizable. I think if I were to sell it, I'd probably price it at like $30 for a calendar or something.
Yeah, it's like $1 a day.
Yeah.
That's like a little fortune cookie. Just open up one every day.
But better because there's also other goodies in it. It's a surprise.
Yes.
Gotta capture that gotcha aspect
Edible.
of holidays.
Yes. I mean, but I feel like gotcha in Japan is like more ruthless because you know even when you go to a temple, like you get like bad luck fortunes. You know what I'm saying? There's like shitty fortunes that you can pull out of the the little temple boxes with the little fortunes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like they have a range of luck that you can get. There's like the awesome luck, the okay luck, you know, good luck, okay luck, kind of bad luck, and then like super shit
A
bad
shitstorm,
luck.
like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a near-death experience. And
Yeah,
it's
like
not
burn
gonna
this
be
paper
fun.
now.
But I'm excited for it. I think like depending on the person, I'm either gonna do definitely there's gonna be candy. I want to do like tea, like different tea bags or candies I like, candies I think they'd like. So
That's so nice.
I hope I figure out this postal thing because you may or may not receive one depending on how this mail shit is going on in Japan.
You can just open it for me on camera and I'll enjoy it that way.
So what do you mean I can't send mail no more? They still haven't ironed that shit out? Damn it.
I don't think I can send mail. I think I might be able to receive mail. I think
Okay.
that's how it works.
Because I sent that one package several months ago. And
Yeah,
that made
so
it to you.
Yeah, I think I can receive stuff, but I just can't send stuff.
It's like when you're out of minutes on your Nokia. But yeah, just kind of crafting away. I've fried my brain trying to figure out how to make a bustle for my burlesque girl Halloween costume I'm trying to make with my friend. Like, she bought one, but I was like, I'm cheap, I'm just gonna make one. But now my brain hurts because I haven't had to draft any patterns in years. So I'm just like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
retarded, I don't know how to do this.
A bustle is like not easy either.
Yeah, and it's like, I want to make a bustle, but I want to half-ass the bustle because I want to cheap out on material. So it's like, okay, well, the lace, I'm only going to put lace on the parts that show. Then everything underneath is just going to be bullshit like polyester or something.
I wonder if you might be able to just find like a pre-made one. Because I feel like Halloween shopping in the States, I feel like is easier in
Yeah,
the States than it is here in Japan.
you just go to like Bodyline and just hope for the best. Go to...
Especially for living in LA, I feel like finding a costume would be really easy for you.
Yeah. But then there's the whole, like, do I really want to spend $40 on a bustle when I could just suffer and make it out of $16 worth of material?
Yeah, and it only
So I'm
is
doing
for
the suffering
literally
part.
one night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's not really costume stores here. There's like Don Quixote.
Yeah.
But that's really it. That's like the only place I can think of.
There's no, like, Japanese party city. Because that's just, like,
Don
Daiso
Quixote
or Donkey.
is Japanese party city. Like,
A Japanese Target, Donkey.
really.
Japanese
there's
Walmart,
no
Donkey.
Really.
Japanese Dollar Tree, Donkey. Wait, no, Daiso.
Daiso. Daiso is more like just like household goods stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey is like all the other random shit.
The Walmart of Japan, Donkey.
Mm-hmm. Actually, maybe at Costco. I wonder if I go.
Yeah,
to
they had
Costco.
costumes at Costco last time I was there because I was there Halloween time.
Oh, okay. I gotta find my buddy with a Costco membership.
Fun fact, Costco memberships work internationally. Woo! Literally, one of my token stops everywhere I travel is to go to Costco to try their regional items.
Really? I guess it would have regional stuff, yeah.
And it's like regional and seasonal. Like Japan Costco has regional and seasonal items, and I was just like, oh hell yeah. They have Dole Whip in Japan Costco in the summertime.
Oh, what? I've been sleeping on the Costco out here.
But this is just your, like, middle-class consumer spouting the clutches of having a Costco membership internationally. Because this is what you flex when you travel. I got Costco membership.
I went to
that,
Japan. Where'd you go?
Costco. That, and you can buy cheap-ass sushi trays, like 50-piece party set sushi trays for $50 at Costco, Japan.
Jeez.
It's $1 a piece. Value.
Yeah. If you need any kind of catering, Costco, Japan, yeah. I mean, sushi is cheap pretty much anywhere here, though. And it's good quality.
But when you need that 50 pieces of sushi.
You need sushi in bulk.
Everything in bulk. They also have a really good Earl Grey muffins, which I'm super jealous about because they don't have Earl Grey muffins here in America.
That's weird.
Makes me sad. But you know how here in America they have, like, I don't know how avid of a Costco visitor you are, but
obviously not at all.
Here in Costco Japan, they package their muffins smaller. Their muffins are in 6-packs versus like the 12-packs, like the multi-packs they usually have here in America.
Yeah.
So it's pretty broken. Mix and match, your boy.
Yeah, Earl Grey tea, like anything English is really popular here. Earl Grey tea is popular here. Baked goods are strangely popular here. There's literally a bakery in Kobe in the downtown area that I saw, and all they were selling was sliced bread.
Was it good?
It was a loaf of sliced bread, and there was a line around the corner for this place.
It must be really good bread.
It must be really good bread.
Well, that too, and it's not common for a lot of Japanese households to have ovens.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
it's just
like, that's
really
why bread's
weird
popping,
to
man.
Yeah, I was just like, what? This is bread.
All of these Western luxuries.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be strange to see the reverse happening in America, where people would be like lined up around the corner to buy like a sack of rice or something. You know what I mean?
Well, if you think about it, like sushi restaurants, you see people lined out for sushi restaurants, so it's not like we can really have access to an ocean where we can totally cut our own sushi and make it ourselves.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. It's just really, really funny to me.
I'm gonna bet you that bread was like the best bread in the world, though, because
I would have gotten line, but that line was too long. I wish I could have tried it.
It's that good.
I wish it was that good. I would be so disappointed if I got
like
there.
You know when we went to Orobe and the line was that long. It's like
okay, Orobe though, but I got what was it? I got the oolong.
The Buddha?
Yeah, I got the oolong
Buddha?
one.
Uh-huh.
Overrated. I'm not like maybe this is my maybe all my opinions are just unpopular opinions, but like I thought it was like the first one on the menu. Mm-hmm. You know, their most popular one, and I didn't like it. I was like, what is this? This is not worth an hour in line. I'm like, it's good, but I wouldn't wait an hour for it. But
now, just think in retrospect how much worse the teas are in other places for that to be the good.
Yeah. That makes me a little sad. But everything else, that I tried there was great. So I feel like the jasmine tea one at Oribe was really good, and then the coffee that they were serving was really good. So,
give and take, you know.
Yeah, the rest of the menu made up for it. All right, let me do my outro spiel.
Okay.
Finally, we'd like to end with some Q&A. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or requests for topics you'd like to hear more about, please reach out to us on our social media at Top Class Tokyo on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, or send us an email at topclasstokyo@gmail.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay classy, Tokyo, or wherever you are in the world.
Outro music. That's gonna be our outro music.